Hi everybody, I'm Annette.
And I'm Shelley.
And this is JDL Cooks. Valentine's is right around the corner. We thought we'd come up with an easy meal that you can make that looks pretty impressive, and you're not going to spend all day in the kitchen because you want to spend time with the people you love. So we've got a nice light supper with a really nice dessert. We should have it all done half an hour.
Right, it's citrus inspired. We're going to be showing you how to peel a lemon, juice a lemon. We're going to make some lemon pepper chicken, citrus salad, and a nice lemon cheesecake for you. So Annette, let's talk about a lemon first. Okay, so how to tell if your lemon is nice and ripe. If you go to the grocery store, you're going to find some that are vary in size. You want one that is about 2 to 3 inches in size, a nice bright yellow color. If it has a greenish undertone, then that is not ripe yet. You also want to take a smell at it. If you smell it and it's nice and citrusy, then you know it's ripe. You can always check with the firmness of it. If it's not soft enough, then you can tell that way that it's underripe as well. But that's okay, as long as you get one that has a nice citrus smell and has a nice yellow color to it, it is still okay to take home. There's 2 ways to ripen it at home. You can put it in your microwave for 30 seconds and that will release the juices. Or you can take it on your counter and place it in the palm of your hand and just roll it on your counter in a nice solid hard motion, and that will also get the juices going inside the lemon. Now when we're talking about the lemon peel, when you're peeling it, you only want to peel the outer lemon part of the lemon. You don't want to get to that yellow or white pith that's underneath it, because that part is actually very bitter, and the natural oils that contain in the lemon are only contained within that outer layer. So you don't want that any part of that white pithy bitterness that's underneath it. And that is going to show you 3 different ways you can peel a lemon.
Everybody has a vegetable peeler. The object with the vegetable peeler is to just barely go across the surface of it. I'll show you some of the white and you can see what you don't want. That white is what you don't want. See how the yellow, you can still see through it? The oils are here, the bitter's here. If you're going to do something like a marinade, you want this nice little chunk like this. If you're going to do something that you're going to actually eat the lemon zest, you want something like a grater. A grater is my personal favorite because it's really easy. I'll just grate a little bit. It just comes off in little bitty pieces that you can actually eat. The other way to do it is if you want something like fancy. This is a lemon zester. You run it across the lemon. Look at all this. And you get these little ribbons. These are edible, and they're also like kind of showy. If you wanted to put something on top of a cake, these are what you'd use. Me personally, I'm kind of not so much of a flashy cook. This works great for me. So today we're going to make a lemon cheesecake. Okay, lemon cheesecake. If you go to some place like the Cheesecake Factory, you've seen the cheesecakes that are this big and they're really firm and they're $8 a slice. This is not quite that cheesecake. This is a no-bake cheesecake. It's super simple. It goes together fast. You're going to make it harden up in the refrigerator. Okay, all I have in here is 2 blocks of cream cheese. They're softened so that they're easier to work with. This is a can of sweetened condensed milk. Don't get the evaporated milk. See how thick this is? Evaporated milk's really thin. This has sugar in it and it makes it thicker. We're going to add that to it. This is vanilla. Just a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Now we're going to take Mr. Lemon, and I need his juice this time, not his zest. So I'm going to cut him in half. You can do this by hand, or you can cheat. I cheat. This is just a juicer. You just put him in, and you push. This recipe is going to take about the juice of 2 lemons. That'll be about 1/3 of a cup. Just half of And this I already did previously. So that should be 1/3 of a cup altogether. Okay, now's the magic. You can do this by hand, which is kind of a pain, or if you have any kind of a mixer. You can have a stand mixer, you can have a hand mixer. You could probably do it with an egg beater, but I think it'd be a little tough. So it's gonna get a little loud for a minute. Big a mess over here for Shelley. This is a graham cracker crust. You've seen them in the refrigerator, in the baking section of your local store, or you can make your own. If you want to make your own, it's just smooshed up kids' graham crackers, a little bit of sugar, and some melted butter, and you just push it into the pie pan. Super simple, but I didn't think you wanted to watch me do that today, so we're just going to pile this in here. Ideally, you would have mixed this a few more minutes so that it was super smooth. This is not quite as smooth as I like it, but it will work. Spread it out. This is going to go in the refrigerator for a couple hours. Now, this is where you can individualize it. This is by itself, really good cheesecake. Me, I'm going to amp it up a little bit. This is lemon curd. You can buy it in the stores already made, or I made my own. It's pretty much zooped up lemon pudding. It's like the best lemon pudding you ever had. You can buy it in the jar. You're just going to spread a little bit on the top. It's just going to amp up that lemon flavor a little bit. Just kind of, it's Valentine's Day. Let's do something a little bit fancy. We're just going to put this over the top. We're going to put this in the refrigerator for at least a couple hours. You want it to get nice and stiff. My husband, if I do this for him, he likes to put it in the freezer. He likes his frozen. It's actually very good. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and we're going to come back at the end, and I'm going to slice it for you and show you what happened. And Shelley's going to continue with your meal.
So Annette has put the pie in the fridge, and now I am going to move on to the main dish, which is the lemon pepper chicken and the side salad. First, I want to talk about the chicken. In this bowl, I have about a pound of chicken that I've pounded out with my meat mallet. And what I've done is I've laid the chicken between 2 layers of cling wrap with some water to help stop the chicken from moving around so much. And I've just, with my smooth side, pounded out that thicker part of the chicken breast, because you want the chicken breast to be one same thickness. That way there's that same cooking time, because if the thicker part will cook longer than the thinner part, so you want to make sure that they're the same thickness. And you kind of want to go for like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch in thickness on both ends of the chicken breast. So what we're going to do is you do want to make a dredge. Now, a dredge is different than a breaded mixture. We're not going to do the normal flour, egg, then a breading. We're just going to do a 1/2 cup of flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, then 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, which I have here. We're going to put that in a little. You can use a bowl or you can put it on a plate. I actually use mine in a 9-inch pie plate because it has a rim. That way when I'm dredging the chicken, I don't have flour going all over the place. So we're going to put that in there. Then what I have in this little cup here is the zest of 1 lemon. So we're going to add that to the flour. Then I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of the lemon pepper seasoning. And then get my spoon. I'm just going to give this a quick whisk, going to stir. Make sure that's all nicely combined. now what we can do is we can take our chicken breasts. I have my tongs here because you don't want to use your bare hands in here. You just want to make it nice, and you don't want to go too heavy on the flour. You can just set that there. And shake off the extra. What I'm going to do is, this is something that you can make on top of your stove. It only takes about 20 minutes maximum. We don't have a kitchen here at Parma, so I brought my electric skillet. So I'm just going to turn it on real quick. Doesn't take very long to heat up. So I'm going to add to my electric skillet, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or as the cooking world knows it, EVOO. I'm gonna set that back inside. I'm just gonna make sure that's all spread around nicely. And that's already heating up. I have it to about 300. So at home, you're gonna cook at about a medium to a medium high heat, depending if you have an electric burner or a gas burner. Not gonna take very long. The way to tell if your pan is hot enough is you can take some of your flour mixture and just sprinkle it in there, and it should start to sizzle. Mine's not hot enough yet. Or you can take some water. I prefer the flour method instead of the water, just because you don't want that to pop up and hit you in the face. And that would be really hot. So that should be hot enough. So we're just going to add our chicken to the skillet. And you should hear it sizzling when you add it to your plate. Or to your skillet, I should say. This makes a nice family style meal, because out of this I used just 2 chicken breasts for, and when I pounded them out, I actually probably got 8 pieces out of it when I cut them in half. Growing up, I have 3 siblings and then 2 parents, so there were 6 of us growing up. So even to this day, we always like to find recipes, even though when it's it says it's a recipe for 2, we always like to make sure that it's something that we can have for 6 people. My brother's married, so now it's 7 people. So we just like to make sure that these are meals that we can combine, and not just for 2 people. So I'm going to set this aside, and while my chicken is browning, it's going to take about 5 minutes on the first side for the chicken to brown. What you don't want to do is when your chicken is browning on the first side, don't move it. That's important, because when you move it, what you do is you lose that brown, nice, crisp that you get. What happens is that if you move it, that comes off and you're kind of left with a sogginess to it. So I know you're going to be tempted to want to check it and make sure that it's brown, but don't. So just flip it after 5 minutes and then you're gonna cook it again on the other side for another 3 to 5 minutes. So while this continues to cook, I am going to move on and get our side salad ready, because the time I'm done with the side salad, it'll be ready to flip the chicken. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the salad. If it looks a little bit brighter right now, as I was getting the chicken browning, we lost power. So, but now we're back. Everything's fine. We're gonna move on. Things happen when you're cooking. But so what I have here is I have about 6 cups of romaine lettuce. You can use green leaf lettuce, you can use iceberg lettuce, you can use a combination. Doesn't matter, just use your favorite kind. I'm gonna just dump it in my bowl here. And then in my handy dandy dressing mixer, you can certainly use a bowl, but I like to use this because it actually has measurements on it. If you're gonna use a bowl, just use a whisk to emulsify it. So to my dressing mixer, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2 tablespoons. A little bit more than 2 tablespoons. Okay. I'm going to add the juice of 1 lime. And limes don't have seeds like lemons do, so you don't have to worry about using a squeezer. You can just do this right in there by yourself, by your hand. That's 1.5. It was a little bit hard to get. As you can hear, my chicken is sizzling away. It hasn't been quite 5 minutes. And once again, I am not touching it because I want that brownness on there. I'm resisting. Then to the lime juice and olive oil, I'm adding about 1 clove of garlic minced. And then the zest of my lime. And we're just going to screw on the lid. This doesn't make a lot of salad dressing. It's not supposed to. This is just, you're just going to drizzle over your dressing or your lettuce. So you're just going to shake it. Pretend it's a martini. Shaken, not stirred. And then this just pops up. And then I have a nice little salad bowl here. Just going to get some with my spoon. My chicken smells wonderful. Then what you want to do is I have some canned mandarin oranges here. Just gonna, where the citrus part comes in again. Put some in there. I do about 6 or 7. You can use more or less, doesn't matter. Depending on how much lettuce you have. And then you're just going to drizzle your salad dressing lightly over the top. You don't want to dredge it. It's just supposed to enhance the flavor of the lettuce itself. And then give it a nice little toss. You can add some red onion to it, or some thinly sliced white onion to it. I don't like onion, so I leave that part out. But other than that, simple salad, done probably in less than 3 minutes. And our lights have gone out again, so we're gonna fix that. But I am going to turn my chicken. And as you can see, it has a nice brownness to it. done the salad, and now we're going to make the sauce for the chicken. In here, I have 2 tablespoons of butter that I've cubed up. And I'm just going to spread that out in my pan. Just add a little bit of butter to burn. And to that, I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic minced. I like garlic, so I will usually add a 3rd one in there. If you don't like garlic, you can leave it out or just use 1. It's up to you. Give that a little stir. Shoot out the garlic. You don't want your pan too high because you don't want your garlic to burn. And to that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of chicken stock. You can use vegetable broth if you want to. This is a 14-ounce can, so I'm going to use about half of it. Now here comes some extra lemony goodness. I have 1 whole lemon, zest left on, that I'm going to add that I've just sliced up. As thinly as I could. I took a paring knife and I just thinly sliced it. And I'm going to spread that around in my pan. Lemon gets in there. I'm going to bring it to a nice simmer, probably for about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to cover it. And I have a nice little slot right here that's going to let the steam release from inside my pot. At home, you can just kind of tilt it off to the side. Sometimes there will also be a little hole towards the handle of your pot. That's actually where the steam is supposed to release. Sometimes if you just turn it, there might be a little slot in there too. If yours doesn't have it, just like I said, kind of keep your lid kind of off at an angle, and that will let some of the steam release. So we're just going to let that simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes, and I will show you how to plate it up. So to serve this up, I just have a nice white platter. I'm going to take my chicken. A little slippery. Some of those nice lemon slices. And they released all of the juice. I'm going to take a spoon. Let's get it. Just drizzle it over. Now the sauce is not gravy. It's not supposed to be, so you're not going to get like this nice thickness. It's just supposed to complement the chicken. Then if you wanted to, you could add some nice sprigs of fresh parsley to put on top for a pop of color. But there you have it, your main dish of lemon pepper chicken and a side salad. Annette's going to come in and she's going to show you the pie.
Hi, I'm back, and I went and got our nice pie out of the refrigerator. Wish me luck. Let's hope this works. Okay. Just gonna take a slice of it. I'm trying to lift it with a knife, so hopefully. There we go.
Nice and solid.
Nice and solid. See, it works.
Now, how did you get the lemon on top? Yes.
I stole it from you.
No, I mean, how did you get the curl?
Oh, all I did was take a lemon. Hang on. I'll demonstrate.
Yes, please do.
I stole a lemon from Shelley. All I did was take a slice, a nice thin slice. I put a little slice in the bottom of it here, just to the edge, and then just twist it. There's our nice Valentine's citrus forward dinner.
It looks delicious.
It does look good. You guys, we should have smell-o-vision. It smells like heaven in here right now. Between the lemon and the lemon garlic, oh my gosh.
I do have to mention that the first time I made the chicken for my family, we actually had it with some fresh green beans that we just blanched. So they were kind of al dente, so I had a bite to them. And we put some of the sauce over the green beans, and it was like, I think we had more green beans than we did the actual chicken because the sauce is that good. But you can have it with potatoes, you can have it with asparagus, you can have it with some bread on the side.
Ooh, bread on the side would be awesome.
Yeah, just to sop off the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, you guys. And just the salad we've made at Christmas, we've made just for like a Sunday dinner with the family. If we had to like throw something fast together, super fast, and
it's beautiful, Shelley. Great job.
Yeah.
Yay.
I mean, everything looks really delicious. So if you guys want us to cook something in particular, if you want us to do another Instant Pot, or if there's another kitchen device you want us to show you how to use, like an air fryer or something in the crock pot. I know next month in March, we're actually going to be cooking a ham and macaroni and cheese, and we're actually going to be cooking in our home kitchens. So you'll see us.
Homeboy.
Yeah. See us at home and not at the library. And then for dessert, you're going to be making a fun bunny cake, which I've never heard of, but I looked it up on Google.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, and I did not know it was a thing.
My family knows it's a thing.
Yeah, I did not know it was a thing. So we will see you next month when we show you how to cook a ham, macaroni and cheese, and a bunny cake. Bye, everybody.